Yeah, really happy. I knew I was going to play a role with the ball. They've got 3 left-handers in the top order, and I think we knew the wicket was going to have a little bit of assistance. So I was prepared for that. Obviously, I'm not expecting to take more wickets than some of the quality bowlers we have, but I'm pretty happy with it.
After the first innings, you said that you were never extending yourself that you will be bowling. So was it a well-planned strategy to choke the Hyderabad batsman and kind of utilize the home advantage that is entitled for you?
Yeah, we spoke about using the whole wicket. Both the batsmen like using the feet and hitting straight down the ground, so I was always prepared to use the wide line. Doesn't matter if I bowl the odd wide, happy to try and restrict them in that way. And just bowl good lengths. I knew there was going to be a bit of spin assistance, so as long as I wasn't floating the ball up there and bowling aggressively, bowling hard spin, using the wicket, that's what I was trying to do, looking to get them out. Obviously, I'll spinner to 2 left-handers. I'm always looking to take wickets and being aggressive, and they're always going to come after me as well, obviously being the 6th bowler as such. So I knew it was game on, and gladfully I came out on the right side today.
Congratulations. What's your rating on the pitch? This didn't look like a bit of an outbreak wicket. How would you define this as a draft?
Yeah, it was not what we've seen in the past here, but it was definitely still a good wicket. We felt when we were batting, when there was pace on the ball, we felt we could play our shots freely, as long as we weren't trying to overhit the ball. I think you had to play smart, take the right options, which benefited us obviously batting second. I think when we bowled, we adapted quite quickly, which is what good teams do. So we're pleased with how we did that today, and we bowled accordingly. So the only thing we probably could have done in the death there is probably use the wicket a little bit more in those last 3 overs. But overall, we put in a good bowling performance and batting as well.
After Mumbai Indians fought in the auction last year, the team's owner Akash Amani went to the RCB owners and then he helped them. What sort of confidence does it give you as a player when you sort of welcome this panel? And how different is it? How has the IPL experience been so far? First with RCB and now with BMI.
Yeah, ever since I was bought by MI in the auction, there's been a lot of conversations just around being myself, giving myself confidence. We've obviously got such a star-studded lineup, and there's such amazing people to learn from and train with. So I was really happy to be playing for MI. And since then, it's been about gaining confidence, getting used to knowing everyone, gelling as a team, which it is tricky at times when you change. It's all the backroom staff, everyone around the team. It does take a while to set in and to gel, but we've done that well, and I feel really comfortable here, and I'm really enjoying my time.
Can you talk about your performance with the back?
Yeah, I would have loved to have contributed more in the first 6 games, first 5 games I've played. So yeah, but the message has always been the same from the team. Hardik said it in the post-match interview there. He wants me to go and express myself, put pressure on the opposition, and they've been very vocal at training, and the message couldn't have been any clearer. I know why I'm here. I know what I can do, and it's about showing that on the pitch to everyone. And yeah, I was happy with how I started today, and took the initiative to the bowlers, but at the same time made some good decisions on a wicket that had some assistance. I would have loved to have finished it off, but we won.
Yeah, I don't know if you can answer this. What is the issue of Sharma in the top field? What is it like?
Yeah, I think he's got a slight finger webbing issue. I'll be honest, I haven't seen him, but hopefully it's not too bad and he can bounce back quickly.
Could I just ask about mindset with bowling? You were talking about trying to spin the ball hard and trying to attack it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that was your role with the opponent today and those left-handers on top.
Yeah, I think if you bowl tentatively to people like that, it's only going to end one way. So that was the message, and I thought originally I was going to bowl on the power play. I didn't bowl then, so I knew I had a bit more protection. So I knew I could bowl with confidence and use my skills. I'm a tall bowler. I get good turn and bounce. So that was what I was trying to do. Sometimes I feel like I can be too defensive instead of using what I'm good at, and I was happy with how I did that today.
It's nice to get one back on Trevor's head after T20 World Cup.
Yeah, we've had a few good battles obviously that World Cup one where I didn't do well, and then a few in the IPL as well. So that's the game. Unfortunately, that day didn't go my way, but that's in the past now, and we have a good chuckle about it and enjoying bowling to him again next week.
Hi Will, you said that you had an idea that you might bowl today. Yesterday you might had an idea that you bowl today. Any intel on what discussions went about when you as a team thought about using this pitch for an SRH side that's way too explosive, and also about the lengths or the pace that you had to target, especially to head Abhishek and Ishan Kishan?
Yeah, we know Sunrisers are incredibly explosive. When they're on a good wicket, they're they're very tricky to bowl to. We saw how good they were last week, obviously. And for me, I think it's very easy to focus on the batters when you're a bowler. You've got to remember that you have your skill as well, and you're there to get them out. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. Some days it will work, some days it won't. And there's always that in the game. But you have to, as the bowler, you have the opportunity to execute your skill first. We play them again next week, so I'm not going to go through everything. But we did have our field plans, and we understood what the wicket was going to behave like. So we did plan well, and I think that contributed today.
We're just trying to develop a little more understanding on how the wicket behaved in the first innings and the second innings, because in the first half we back, the first 6 came in the 18th over of the innings, and then when Mumbai came out to bat, it looked like it was a different wicket in terms of how the batters were able to execute their shots, get those boundaries and sixes frequently than what happened in the first innings.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I don't think it changed much. There was spin in both innings. There was hold when people bowled slow balls into the wicket. There wasn't much dew tonight either, so I don't think there was massive changes in conditions as such. I think we executed well with the ball, and I think we understood then what we had to do with the bat. We also got off to a very proactive start with the bat. Rohit played really well tonight, and that made it a lot easier for myself to come in at 3 and not have to over attack from ball 1. So I think we put in a really good collective performance tonight.
Well, last year you scored that 100 90 for RCB. When will we get to see such kind of amount? Because from 50 to 100 you just raced away before you even want to flip this set and look what's happening next.
I'd love to know when that's going to happen as well. But unfortunately that is, days like that don't come around often. But all you can do is put yourself in the position and work hard. And I'd love to do that every game, but life isn't that easy, and the cricket's not that easy. I made a good impact on the game today, and hopefully when we play here against Chennai next, I'll be able to do the same.
What all need to come together to get that kind of
Well, for that one specifically, you need a lot of things to come together. As I had a lot of luck early on, and then somehow got into a rhythm. That's, like I say, that won't happen very, very many times in my career. I think I don't know what else to say to that. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks.